If you are searching for a powerful laptop with a great 4K display that can handle editing 4K footage or gaming on the go for under $2,000, then the Gigabyte Aero 16 might be the laptop for you. Let's go ahead and find out. This is the Gigabyte Aero 16 XE5 gaming/creator laptop that is geared towards creators. It's loaded with high specs that will make editing on the go a breeze. This has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 Ti GPU and an Intel i7 12700H CPU. For storage, this has a 1TB M.2 NVMe drive and 16GB of DDR5 memory. If you pick up the XE4 model, you will get DDR4 memory. Starting off with the design, I love that it doesn't have the aggressive gaming design that most gaming laptops have. It's got a thin and compact form factor for being a 16-inch laptop. It has more of a 15-inch footprint due to the bezels being nearly non-existent. I'm not a big fan of this silver color though. I wish they offered this in a darker gray color or in black. The build quality on this laptop is good. There's very little flex on the lid and it feels very sturdy. The hinge mechanism also feels sturdy when opening and closing the lid. The keyboard on this feels good when typing. It is nice and clicky and there's a good amount of key travel. As for the touchpad, I found it to be great on here. It is very smooth and accurate to the touch. The large size makes it easy to use 4-finger gestures on here. The keyboard has 2 levels of backlight brightness and it offers no RGB, you only get white light. I really like how the keyboard feels when typing, but one of my biggest complaints about it is that it doesn't give you a full-size shift key on the right side. I accidentally keep pressing up instead of the shift key. Even the Surface Pro 9, which has a smaller footprint, gives you a full-size shift key on the right side. You may or may not have this issue, it just depends on whether you also use the shift key on the right side. And this is something that is taking me quite a while to get used to since all my other keyboards have a full-size shift key on the right side. The logo on the back lights up and that's a great addition. This only lights up in white so you won't be able to customize the color. I really like the small camera bar that sticks out a little at the top here. This makes it very easy to prop the laptop open and the laptop opens up with one hand without any resistance. Logging into the laptop is seamless with Windows Hello and this has been working well for me for the past few months. The Gigabyte Aero 16 offers one of the best looking displays. The laptop has a stunning 4K AMOLED display, it is a 10-bit panel and factory calibrated. It is also HDR500 certified, perfect for photo editors and video editors looking for a color accurate display. The display has a 16:10 aspect ratio which gives you a little more room on top and on the bottom of the display. I really like this aspect ratio when I'm editing because I can have a taller timeline and this lets me see more when I'm editing. For a laptop, this has a pretty bright display. It has a maximum peak brightness of 500 nits. It's great for indoors and good for outdoor use unless you are watching a movie that's very dark. I have been using the Gigabyte Aero 16 creator laptop for a little over 4 months now, and so far, I have been very satisfied with its performance while editing my 4K videos. I can edit my 4K videos smoothly with the playback resolution set to full, and I can scrub through the timeline without any lag. The only time that I start to notice some slight playback lag is when I start adding a ton of motion graphics. Setting the playback resolution to 1/2 really helps smooth things out. I did do some upgrades a couple weeks after I bought the laptop that came out cheaper than buying the laptop with the specs that I upgraded to. I increased the RAM from 16GB to 32GB and added 2TB of storage to hold my videos and my Adobe Premiere Pro assets. This was a fairly simple process, and if you're interested in upgrading those parts on your laptop, I made a dedicated video on that if you want to follow along, and the link will be in the description. So before I did any upgrades, I exported a couple of videos and it was pretty fast at rendering and exporting the video. For an 8-minute and 6-second video with about 11 motion graphics on it, it took roughly 9 minutes and 36 seconds to export the video, so that is pretty fast. So the front-facing speakers on this are okay. They aren't bad, but they aren't great either. The good thing is that they are loud, but it doesn't have a good amount of bass. And here's a quick audio sample. Since this laptop is tailored for content creators, I was a bit surprised that it has very limited ports. This offers 3 USB-C ports in total. There is one on the left side which is a USB-C Gen 4 port and there are 2 on the right side. The top one is also a Gen 4 port that supports 100-watt charging and that is awesome. The bottom one is a USB-C Gen 3 port. The lack of ports on this may be a deal breaker for a lot of you, but they did include a USB-C hub. You can plug it in directly onto the side of the laptop or you can use the short extension cable that they included. This gives you an HDMI port, a mini display port, one USB-A port, and an Ethernet port. It's a little disappointing that the hub doesn't include an SD card reader. I already have my own fast SD card reader, so this doesn't really bother me, but if you don't already own your own, then this might be a big con for you. So the fan noise on this laptop when editing is not very loud. The fans do rev up every few minutes to about 49 decibels, but for the most part they have been sitting at around 40 decibels. When I'm just surfing the web or watching YouTube videos, it runs at about 33 to 36 decibels. Now if you will be using this in the classroom, then the fans will sound loud in a quiet classroom under heavy load. So the battery life on this is terrible. I have been getting an average of 1 hour and 40 minutes while editing video. The most that I have managed to squeeze out of this laptop while editing video is 2 hours and 10 minutes, and that's with battery saver enabled. When I am surfing the web and watching videos, I get almost 3 hours and 20 minutes, and this is with the balanced battery mode and with 50% screen brightness. The power efficiency battery mode doesn't seem to do much. I still get about the same battery life when I'm editing video or when I'm just watching videos. Now one thing to be aware of is that once the battery drops to 10%, you got about a 1 minute and 30 second window to connect the charger before it shuts off on you. And if you're in the middle of editing a video, you got about a 30-second window, and this is one way to get your blood pumping. With the high specs, this laptop can also handle gaming as a bonus. I haven't really played any games on here since I bought this specifically to edit my videos. I did test out Apex Legends and it ran great on here with medium settings and the resolution set to 1080p. Something to keep in mind is that the fans are running high consistently when gaming, around 45 to 58 decibels depending on the graphics settings that you set. Since I keep my graphics on medium and 1080p, the fan noise is at about 40 decibels. A good thing is that you have the option to set your own fan curve without having to jump into the BIOS with the provider software. You can also make the fans go on full blast from here if you want intensive cooling by setting it to turbo. Now this will be very loud, getting as high as 66 decibels. The biggest downside to this laptop is that you will be stuck to the power brick. You will have to keep an eye out for places that have an outlet if you plan on traveling with this laptop. On the upside, you can charge this laptop through the USB-C port and it supports up to 100 watts, so if you have a 100 watt power bank, this will help you extend your battery life a little longer. So the big question remains, is this laptop worth it? I believe it is, but only if you will be using it to its full potential, and if you don't mind carrying your laptop charger with you everywhere you go, then I will highly recommend investing in this for your video editing, photo editing, or any other intensive creative work. Alright, so that does it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to smash that like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe for more tech related videos, and I will talk to you on the next one.